Hello, everybody, and welcome to our community service project. I'm Brian Abrego from McLaughlin High School, and I'm your Blue Mountain Region Vice President.
And I'm Margo Boyd, your Executive Vice President from Roseburg High School. As we all know, community service is a huge part of FBLA as seen through the Community Service Award National Program. Community service is a really great way to get involved in your community and give back through your chapter. So just a refresher on the Community Service Awards. For the community level, you have to accrue 50 service hours, for service 200 service hours, and achievement 500 service hours. For both the community and service levels, your hours need to be submitted before March 1st, 2020, and for the achievement level, they must be submitted before April 25th, 2020. And remember, for each of these levels, this isn't accrued in one year, it's collective through your time in high school. So another reminder is that summer is a great time to start on your community service hours for the year. So here we have some summer service activities.
So some summer service activity ideas are to start or continue Recycle for Hope project by beginning a bag collection. And with that bag collection, you and your chapter could start crocheting bags and make little sleeping mats for the homeless. And volunteer at your local food bank or soup kitchen, for example, Meals on Wheels. Summer camp volunteer opportunities like the Special Olympics, or put on or participate in a local park cleanup like tree planting.
So March of Dimes is one of our national partners, but I've talked to some people and some people from other chapters, and I found that fundraising is hard to come up with ideas for them. So here are some ideas that we compiled. One of my favorites is to host a silent auction where you can talk to local businesses and have them donate items to be sold at an auction, either at a regional skills conference or just within your chapter. Penny Wars is another really fun one where if you can get your school involved, you can put a jar outside of each classroom where if you put coins in, it counts towards each classroom's total, and if you put cash in, it deducts from that total. So classes can kind of have like a little competition between them, and it's really great to get people involved that way. Another way is to host a walk for March of Dimes or a football game theme. This is something my chapter is working on this year, as Prematurity Awareness Month is in November as well. That's also football season. So have a game where everyone wears purple and you can collect money for March of Dimes.
And then don't forget about Champion Chapter. But did you know that all the community service points that you get for the CSAs also count on to Champion Chapter? So here are the point system updates that have been updated. The community service, 5 points for each service activity, 50 points for participation in super service, and super service is 3 categories: Recycle for Hope, March of Dimes, and Valiant Seed. And now it's been updated to if your chapter does any 3 different or any of those, you could put into any of the 3 service projects. You get 15 points for submitting to nationals, 100 points maximum for community service, and reminder, 10 points for working with another chapter or CTSO. And CTSO, if you guys didn't know, is a career technical student organization. For example, FFA, DECA, and FCCLA.
So there are lots of other updates this year for Champion Chapter, but we just briefly went over how community service plays into that. And those points that you earn through community service go towards these awards. The Champion Chapter Awards, there's 4 different levels: gold, silver, bronze, and honor roll. So to get gold, your chapter has to accrue 600 points. The reward for this is a ribbon, state website recognition, a plaque and banner SBLC. For silver, which is 526 points, the reward is a ribbon, state website recognition, and plaque at SBLC. For bronze, 451 points, where the reward is a ribbon, state website recognition, and certificate. And finally, honor roll, 375 points, where your chapter can receive a ribbon and state website recognition.
And these are some frequently asked questions that we get from members whenever we talk about CSAs. How can a chapter get more members involved?
So I served 2 terms as my local chapter's community service coordinator, and when faced with this problem, I decided that it'd be a really good idea to talk to individual members and see what kind of service activities they've already participated in or they have an interest in. So just tailoring the activities to the members of a chapter is a really great way to get them more involved. But other ways to get more members involved is to just advertise more. My chapter utilized texting group chats a lot. Who should plan service events for the chapter? So like I said, I was the community service coordinator for my chapter because we were a little bit bigger, so we had room on our officer team for that, where the responsibility of that position was to coordinate those community service events, as well as keep track of individual members' community service hours, which is really nice to streamline service events and entering members' hours into the CSAs.
Oh, and then for my chapter, since we're a smaller chapter, we don't really have that benefit of like how they do, where we have a community service coordinator. So it's really all on our advisor, which I really don't think is like a good idea. But since our chapter isn't that big, our advisor just gives us a community service idea, and we pretty much say like who can go and who can't go, and like if that'd be fun or whatever. But I really don't think that your advisor should be the one in charge of it, like your state officer team, or not your state officer team, your officer team, or just the members in general should be should be in charge of the community service events.
Yeah. And through talking to a few other smaller chapters, a way that they worked around their members is to have a committee of just, a select few members, like 1, 2, or 3, to just specifically work on community service. So it's a really great way to, work around not having enough members in the chapter. Okay. So how do you partner with another CTSO or chapter?
So one way you could partner with another CTSO or chapter is by having like one of your chapter officers go in contact with another member from, for example, FFA, and you guys can go and plan a meeting where both of your chapters can get together and just talk about a good community service project that both of you guys will enjoy and could help out in.
So my chapter is actually working on this kind of partnership right now with the local chapter of FFA at my school. And to do that, we had our officer team reach out to theirs. And the goal of this for us is to kind of get together with their chapter and have someone from an organization come in and give a presentation about how we can volunteer for them. And after that, kind of have a brainstorming session where both FFA and FBLA can get together and share their ideas, and we can plan an activity that works around both of our schedules and we're both interested in. So why should chapters participate in community service? So I found that community service is both a really great way to, help out your community, but it also is really beneficial for individual chapters to participate in community service as well, because it's a really great membership recruiting activity. So within my chapter, every year, you lose your seniors at the end of the year. And so when you're starting back up, you have less members than before. So we found that if we have a really great community service event at the beginning of the year, we can use that as a recruitment tool through advertising to just the school and reaching out to members who haven't returned.
So for our chapter, since like I mentioned earlier, we're like a small chapter. Whenever we do any type of community service, pretty much over half the chapter is there. And whenever we participate in it, it brings our chapter closer. So like we used to just be like just random people that we didn't really know in the same room just having a meeting, and now that community service, that we do a bunch more community service projects, it really brought us closer from just being like random people we see in the hallways to like people we can actually trust and talk to on a daily basis.
So thank you all for watching. If you share anything about your community service events, make sure to tag us at Oregon FBLA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you have any questions, be sure to email us at bluemountainvp@oregonfbla.org and executivevp@oregonfbla.org. I'm Margo Boyd, your Executive Vice President.
I'm Brian Abrego, your Blue Mountain Vice President, and we can't wait to see all the amazing community service projects you guys tag us in.
Yep. Bye.